I swore to myself I wouldn't mention this, but there you go. Around about 1968, 1970, most bands.
Excellent. So, welcome to the Holy Diver podcast, where we dive into all things music related. This is the first ever one, so thank you for joining us. Today we've got Eric Bell from Thin Lizzy and the Eric Bell Trio. Thanks for coming down.
Thank you, sir, for asking me.
No, not a problem. It's an absolute pleasure. So, you're going to be playing our stage tonight, thankfully.
Okay.
What can we expect on the set tonight, song-wise?
There's a few sort of original songs, and obviously Whiskey and the You Know What.
Yeah.
And one or two early songs from Thin Lizzy, like
Okay.
Look Where the Wind Blew In.
Oh, fantastic.
And if we've got the energy, the rocker.
Hopefully so.
Yeah. Also a few sort of blues things and a few early rock sort of things done in our own way sort of thing.
Wicked. Oh, that's fantastic.
Uh-huh.
And obviously you've also got the new album out, Authenticity.
That's right.
So tell us a bit about that. How long's it taken?
I just got an idea. I'd written some new songs and I wanted to get them out. And my manager, Andy Quinn, who I was going to say he lives in England, he lives in France now. He's moved to France. He organised the whole thing for me, and it was done in near a place called Clitheroe.
Okay.
Where the Clitheroe Kid came from. And I was in this really nice studio. I think it was called the Grand Studio, as far as I know.
Nice.
It was really good. I went over and did about 6, 7, 8 tracks, and then I got a really bad flu, and I had to cancel the next session.
Oh no.
So it took a while to get the whole thing going, but it's out now. You know, it's been released about 2 or 3 days ago.
Oh, fantastic.
Mhm.
Excellent. And are you planning on taking that on a nationwide tour, or going to kind of keep it local? And
I just see what happens, you know.
Yeah.
It's going to obviously get reviewed and DJs and so on and so on. Just see what the reaction is.
oh, fantastic. So what inspired you to put that out and to get recording with it and stuff?
Well, you know, it's what I do.
Yeah.
You get some songs, and what do you do with them? You know, some of them you record, and they're not ready, or you have to do them again, type of thing. But whenever you get all that together, then it's time to go into the studio and record it, you know.
So it all kind of felt like it was coming together to form the perfect album.
It's like an atmosphere,
Yeah.
you know. I go into the studio, and it's probably not the greatest album in the world, but I go into the studio and I try and create an atmosphere.
Yeah.
So that whenever I listen back to my own songs, I can get lost in them a little bit,
Yeah.
you know.
Of course. And then when you're recording the album and it's all kind of coming together and you've got the atmosphere going, what then goes into the creative process behind the album artwork and how you're going to basically package it and stuff like that?
Yeah, well, the album artwork, I think, subconsciously come back. Subconsciously, I love Hammer House horror movies.
Okay.
And I bought this DVD box set of them quite a while ago, and it's all the actual box that it's in is all black,
right?
And it's got red writing,
fantastic,
as well. And I thought that would look cool on the next album, you know.
Kind of like subtle.
Yeah, well, the next album looks like this table, basically, just black, and Authenticity in red, Eric Bell in red.
Yeah.
And I think I got the idea from Hammer House, you know.
So it kind of like it was in the back of your mind for a while, then you thought, I know.
Yeah.
That's the way it's going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, because sometimes like less is more, and it's more striking
absolutely.
as well.
I mean, look at the Beatles for the White Album.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I had that once.
Yeah.
Sadly sold it. So going from the latest album, way back, to the first one with Thin Lizzy, what was the difference in, say, the main difference nowadays from how it is now to what it was back then? Is it like strikingly different process, or is it more because it's your own thing now and you know what you want and that's what that one?
Yeah,
And back then there's three voices.
Well, in a way, like when Thin Lizzy formed, we didn't realise it was going to take off. You know, we're
Right.
just another group in Dublin, basically. And we got an offer to go to London and record for an album for Decca Records, which
Wow.
we just couldn't believe. You know,
Yeah.
we were lucky in a way that most of the tracks on that album we had played live on stage,
Yeah.
so they were pretty well worn by the time we recorded the first album.
Got you.
But it was a different ball game in those days,
Yeah.
you know, than it is now. There was no digital stuff.
No.
Very, very basic.
So there was a lot more. Was there a lot more pressure in the studio back then than to what there is now? A lot more people demanding more and stuff like
Well,
that.
I swore to myself I wouldn't mention this, but there you go. In those days, around about 1968, 1970,
Yeah.
most bands were smoking dope.
Of course.
It was just a done thing.
Right.
It was the times we lived in. So whenever Thin Lizzy recorded her first album, we were stoned out of it completely. But we weren't the only band that did this. You know,
Right.
in those days, if we went to a gig to do the gig and you walked into the changing room, it would be filled with dope. All these guys would be smoking. It was a done thing then. It's hard to believe now.
Yeah.
And when we used to travel to gigs, we'd smoke dope in the van
Yeah.
and so on. But none of that happens anymore. That's all gone.
Yeah.
So the reason I mentioned that anyway in the first place is that that was one of the main differences.
Yeah.
Was there was a lot of that going on.
Yeah.
So obviously,
To kind of alleviate the pressure of the album.
yeah, and also, as the Beatles said as well, that you can get some very good ideas and some great lyrics and so on, which is true.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, that's all gone now. It's a different ballgame completely.
Maybe that's why it's a bit less creative lately.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
Excellent. And so when you got signed straight away, did it change your life straight away? The three of you, did it just
Not at all. No, I mean, we couldn't give the albums away.
what?
We released the first album, and it was like, right, 3-piece band from Ireland, blah blah blah. They haven't found their own style yet. Every
Yeah.
song on the album is different, and we said, so what?
Yeah,
You know,
that's
every song on the Beatles albums are different. You know,
yeah.
but that's what they said. And then we recorded the second album, and we got the same response. No one was really interested.
So
A few of our fans was in
Yeah.
Ireland, but that was about it.
So do you think it was when you moved on to the third album, the Vagabonds album, with the album artwork, it was quite striking and
It
different?
was, yes.
Did that kind of
Like, plus we took it a lot more serious, you know. Like looking back on it, I mean, like for instance, I would retune my guitar every song I played. I would go out and tune it
Wow.
again, which I didn't do in the first two albums.
Right.
So we were doing those type of things, making it a bit more serious,
Yeah.
and it did get some good reviews.
Yeah.
But it wasn't an amazing sort of take off
Yeah.
with it, you know.
Wow. So it was kind of over time and stuff.
Now it's incredible. Like people
Yeah.
are listening to all that stuff now,
Yeah.
like 50 years ago.
Definitely, it's probably most iconic albums
Yeah.
in history, probably. And talking about guitars and retuning, am I right in thinking that you tend to play a Strat?
I do, yeah.
And if you always, is that your go-to?
Oh, that's my favourite, old faithful I call it. It's about 52 years old.
So you're still playing the same
Yeah,
for 52 years?
52 years old it is.
Wow.
Yeah,
Same strings?
I bought it brand new for about 200 quid, you know.
No way. So it doesn't matter the price of the instrument, it's just how you kind of connect with it.
Yeah, you know, if it feels right.
Yeah.
You know, when I first got it, I didn't like it, for instance.
Right.
And I tried to swap it with other guitar players, and they weren't interested, so I kept it. And after about 4 months, I started enjoying playing it,
Right.
and I still really enjoy playing it. You know.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And if you were putting together a supergroup today, who would you pick up the phone to first, do you think?
Well, I mean, a lot of the guys I would pick are gone. You know, they're dead. But you know, maybe Mitch Mitchell on drums,
Okay.
from the Hendrix Experience.
Yes.
Could be Jack Bruce on bass
Nice.
from Cream.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe Jeff Beck on guitar,
Yeah. 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 Why not?
and maybe Chick Corea on keyboards.
Nice. And in the Eric Bell trio today, what's the formation? Who have you got with you today?
Yes, I've got the bass player's called Phil Smith. That's MY, and the drummer is Matt Jameson.
Nice.
So we've been together about a year and a half now.
Fantastic.
It's not right, mate. And and it's, you know, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's nice because a lot of the stuff I want to do is quite spontaneous.
Yeah.
You know, I make it up as I go along,
Yeah.
and I just think it's a nice way to play.
Yeah. Of course.
You know.
Fantastic. And I'm right in thinking you're, when I last checked, you on 9 albums plus with the Eric Bell trio. Fantastic. And
Mhm.
and how many more do you think are in the pipeline?
Well, let's hope so.
Yeah. Hopefully. Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Eric
Well,
Bell.
thank
It's
you
been
very
an
much as
absolute
well.
pleasure. Thanks.
Nice one.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That'll be 15 guineas, please.
Yes.